coming to you live from the It's Funny Studios. I'm Doug.
I'm Greg.
And this is the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcast. Welcome. Thank you for tuning into the show.
Yes.
We are Mikeless today. Mike is not here. No, he didn't fall and slip and hurt himself in the shower after too many shower beers.
Which could happen.
Yes. It is Labor Day for our American listeners. Happy Labor Day to you out there. And
Yes.
a happy Monday to everybody else, or whatever day it is you're listening to this show.
Yeah.
So we gave Mike the day off. He was whining about, you know how millennials are.
Overworked.
Oh, I can't do it. I don't want him to quit or anything on us. So
No, we don't.
no, we might get into that later.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we both have a little something up at the top of the show. And then, we're going to talk about some different observations, kind of just a little chit chat to start off.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to talk a little college talk, school loans.
Yeah. Well, that's been in the news a lot lately.
And then working, since it is Labor Day, I figured working and quiet quitting. If you're not sure what that is.
I'm a loud quitter.
I want to be allowed. When I quit, they're going to know. I'm out.
Yeah. Bye.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I'll start. One thing, this kind of stuff, and I'm not going to get in a huge thing about it, but California, just within the last week, passed a law where they're going to ban no more gas-powered vehicles by the year, I believe, 2035.
Yeah, I saw that.
2035. It doesn't even get a week that has passed. And they're coming out now, and they're saying, well, the electrical infrastructure is getting overpowered, so you can't charge your electric vehicles either, except at certain times of the day.
Yeah.
So from 4 to 9, you're not allowed to use appliances or charge your vehicle. And this is when, maybe at most, even in California, 10% of the people are driving electric cars. What are they going to do when 50% of the people are driving
or
them? and having to charge them?
75%.
And I'm not against electric cars or anything. Why are we flipping the switch this quick? We're not prepared to handle the volume that they're wanting to push out there. They're just not. The infrastructure's not there.
Right. Ease into it. I mean, develop a plan as you go and ease into it. I know that's too much common
I was listening
sense.
to another podcast with a guy who was, he was with the Obama administration, and he was big into green energy and everything, but he's still, and saying, let's do something about climate change and all that. Now you can think of that, you're for it or not. I'm not even talking about that. He has just come back now, and he's getting some pushback.
I'm pro climate change.
The climate's going to change whether you're for it or not. But he was like, we're going too fast. We're not ready. And he had said, I think he's a geologist. I don't know exactly. I'll have to re-listen to the podcast. I know this is just giving you some information, halves and pieces of it that I have. But he was saying that the United States alone has enough natural gas that it could supply all of the natural gas needs for the United States and Europe for well over 100 years. He said there may be 1,000 years worth of natural gas in the United States when they do, shale drilling and everything else.
Right.
So he said, it's clean burning. It's clean. It's low impact, but we just quit. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. We're just going wind, solar, nuclear. No, can't do nuclear either. It's like,
well, yeah, because hydrogen is another possibility.
Yes. And, when I was in college, I had a physics teacher, and he told us he was talking about nuclear energy, and he was saying that he said something at the time like 20 years of nuclear waste could be held in 255-gallon drums. Wow. Because it doesn't produce much waste. There's not a lot of waste to the nuclear material. And they're relatively clean and relatively safe outside of a few instances. So
you hear it get brought up too about these batteries in these cars, the electric cars, lithium batteries. No, I hear it get brought up a lot, but I never hear of a solution to how are they going to dispose of all those when they start going bad.
And have you seen a lithium mine? They're huge.
Yeah, they're huge.
And they just completely destroy the land.
They destroy the land. It takes many, many huge mining trucks and tractors that are using diesel fuel to run.
Not only that, this was just out this past week too on Twitter. It's been making the rounds on social media. A guy took his car in to get fixed.
Yeah.
The battery was bad, and he had a picture of the bill. $28,000 to replace the battery. I was like, well, we're done.
Wow, that's
$28,000 bill? That's a car.
That's not a couple of rechargeable double A's.
No, it is not. So anyway, I'm a little worried because Mike isn't here. This might just turn into the old men griping about everything.
Yeah, Mike tempers us down a little bit.
He's the millennials like, it'll be all right. Me and Greg will work each other up. We'll be yelling at clouds pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay off our yard. And what's with kids in this music today?
Get your pants
what they
up.
call music. It's garbage. Back in my day. Oh no. So, anyway, but that was it. I'd come across that and it kind of flipped the switch for me a little bit. I was like, I got to get that off my chest. So there's my old man gripe.
So that all you got on the gripe?
It.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, my gripe, mine always go to fast food. And once again this week. And my first one, as much as it pains me to say it.
McDonald's?
Chick-fil-A.
What?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Now.
Chick-fil-A, why are you doing this?
And I really am saying this more as a warning to Chick-fil-A because I don't want to see them go down the path of McDonald's.
I'm honestly devastated. I'm kind of upset about this. I didn't know you were going with Chick-fil-A.
Well, yeah, that's my first,
Oh, all right. What do they got?
Well, it wasn't even a particularly anything specific at Chick-fil-A. It's just they weren't their typical Chick-fil-A. Lori and I went there actually last night, and we got there. A number of the tables were dirty, which is unheard of. The bathroom had like paper towels and stuff laying on the floor. The girl that waited on us, she kind of had purplish hair, a real blah attitude, and we didn't get my pleasure. She didn't say my pleasure.
See, that would bug me more than the hair.
I know. I'm just
hair.
I think maybe a McDonald's employee slipped in.
Could have been.
I don't know, but
maybe McDonald's is paying people to go there and sabotage them. So they're getting double. They're getting paid from McDonald's and Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, that might be. Yeah, because she didn't have a lot of, and I'm teasing somewhat because she was still nice enough, but she just didn't have the normal,
over the top.
Yeah. Bright, shining personality that they normally have. Now, a couple of things about this is while Lori and I were there, I did see somebody go into open the restroom door and prop it open to clean it. So they were,
there you go.
So they were getting ready maybe but I don't know. It just felt like an off day for Chick-fil-A and I don't want to see it go down the bad path.
And everybody's allowed an off day or two.
Yeah.
Well, I know even like you give your wife 1 or 2 days a year to have an off day.
To have an off day. Yeah. As long as the other 363.
They gotta double it the next day. It's gotta be twice as good the next day.
Yeah. So the other one, let's bounce back over to McDonald's now.
Oh, now we're in familiar territory.
So I stopped by McDonald's the other morning and I ordered through the drive-thru a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin. And the girl said,
Did you ask for cheese?
I didn't ask this time for cheese because I thought I would see, but I didn't even get that far to start.
Oh, no.
Because she goes, I don't got no muffins. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Is that a personal problem or what is, I don't want your muffins. I want the egg McMuffin.
Well, undoubtedly McDonald's didn't have. And I said, okay, okay, it's fine. That didn't bother me. I like the biscuits as well, but I got ready to switch it and I started to say it and I said, okay, well then and before I could finish, she says, oh, I can ring you up a muffin and sub you a biscuit.
Couldn't you just ring me up a biscuit?
Oh no.
You already said muffin. We've got it down as a muffin.
It's in her head that it's a muffin.
Getting a muffin.
So I said, yeah, that's fine. So I pulled forward.
I'm going to have to charge extra because you subbed the biscuit in.
Well, it was funny because I pulled forward, paid, pulled up to the next window, and she handed me the bag. And the girl that handed me the bag said, McMuffin sub biscuit. And I'm like, yeah. And she hands it to me. And I tear the receipt off and look at it. And it says muffin sub biscuit.
No extra charge? I'm wanting an extra charge.
I know. That would have been hilarious. No,
We're going to have to upcharge you for that since you wanted to sub out the muffin for a biscuit. I don't want to.
You made
told me to it.
So yeah, I was like, okay, that's weird. Why didn't she just say, we're out of McMuffins? You can order a biscuit or a whatever.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to sub that. I'll just do the biscuit.
No, I must have got the substitute biscuit. I didn't get the one that's for the regular biscuits.
It wasn't quite as good. It was one that was on the floor. What are we going to do with these? Sub those out for the muffin. They'll never know. They're muffin people.
I picture a rack in the back of McDonald's there where they got a line of biscuits in there now where it says muffins.
Yeah. The fresh hot biscuits are for the biscuit people. The muffin people don't know what a real biscuit's like. Yeah. Give them one of those day-old ones. It's all fine.
I don't got no muffins. I'm like, okay, I'll take. No, I can sub you a biscuit though. So I got the substitute biscuit.
However, whatever you got to do, again, whatever buttons and gyrations have to happen, I just want a biscuit with sausage on it.
Whatever that happens. I was perfectly fine making the switch, but it's like I could have just ordered a sausage biscuit, but no, she substituted with the muffin.
I see how you should have just made a huge scene. I don't, my dad made muffins and I'll never go to a biscuit. Let's go off on it.
So yeah, it's really not a gripe. It just made me chuckle. It's like, so you're subbing me a biscuit for the muffin. Okay, that'll work. So that gets me back to, while I'm talking about Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, we both saw this sign that Chick-fil-A had. I don't know if you want to go ahead and read what the sign says.
Yeah, well, and I still don't understand.
Well, yeah, and this was the first thing I saw when Lori and I went last night and we were walking through the door. I saw this same sign that you're going to read.
Yeah, it says, our grilled fillets and grilled nuggets currently contain a dairy allergen. We apologize for the inconvenience. And that's it. You can still order it. What dairy allergen? And how does it get a dairy allergen?
Yeah. I wanted to know what dairy is in a grilled chicken nugget or a grilled.
I wanted to ask, how did this happen? Did you spill milk on them or what?
Did the chickens drink some weird dairy product or?
Or is there sour cream in it? What's going on? What is happening? And just a dairy allergen. It's very generic. It's just dairy. It's a dairy allergen.
And what do you think both Lori and I ordered last night?
Grilled
chicken nuggets.
You got to test it.
Yeah. So we were both,
Did you get sick?
Eyes are watering. Oh, it must be the grilled chicken nuggets.
Well, they told you there was an allergen.
They did. There's an allergen, a dairy allergen in a piece of chicken. I don't get it.
But they do apologize for the inconvenience.
Yes, they didn't apologize at the register. But the sign took care of that.
You should go back tomorrow and demand an apology.
Yeah, I demand.
2 days ago, I came here and ordered this dairy chicken breast.
And while I'm here, can I get a chicken muffin and sub a biscuit for?
We'll give you 2 biscuits. Sorry for the apology. Our pleasure.
Yeah, I don't know what the dairy allergen is.
Yeah, that was odd. I saw that and I was like, that is weird.
Yeah. So, okay, that was that sign. Now, so since we're talking about signs, you want to go ahead and talk about some other signs?
I don't care.
So when you and I were at lunch the other day, and we're driving around and, we like to go somewhere and order some food and then just kind of tool around town and look at houses, whatever.
We like to get our lunch and go for a romantic drive.
Yeah, romantic
drive. Before we go back to the office.
Sometimes we light a candle in the truck.
Which is very dangerous. We don't recommend that. All you kids out there listening, do not light a candle and drive around.
Maybe use a AA candle, one of those that's battery operated.
Or you go to Yankee Candle and get the candle scented little air freshener that you put in the vent. See, although if Mike was here, he is a strict cardboard pine tree guy. That's what he wants.
He does like the cardboard pine tree.
Yeah. So that's like from 1982, but that's which surprises me with Mike because he's the millennial. You'd think he'd be more into I like the Yankee Candle.
I like the various scents.
So, yes.
Do you have a favorite scent for your car?
It depends on like in the summertime, I like something light and airy.
I like
a beach smell, like a coconut
coconut's my fave.
Clean cotton is always a good clean scent. So I do like that. In the fall time, I'll go with like a pumpkin apple
Pumpkin spice.
Well, not pumpkin spice, but they have like an apple pumpkin with
Yeah.
Yankee Candle. I do like that one. They have one. My favorite is called Autumn Leaves. That's my absolute favorite Yankee Candle. They should be a sponsor because I love Yankee Candle. I do.
I like Yankee Candle. I like candles.
Oh, I do too.
I'm a fan.
I am too. It's good ambiance. That's the mood. I like lighting a candle.
And you know what's something I don't have in either one of our vehicles is scents.
A candle?
And scents.
You have a candelabra.
Yeah, it's hanging from right behind the sunroof.
Yes,
it hangs
you
down.
light all 27 candles and then you go for a ride.
But anyway, so we're driving around and, we see this sign and it's leading down this alley and it says fresh oil, travel at your own risk.
I know. I have seen that sign a couple places here recently. What do they mean travel at my own? And for those of you who are not from the Midwest, I don't know if they do this everywhere, but in the Midwest in the summertime, they will lay down oil and then they'll usually lay down a layer of gravel or rock over the top of it. I'm not 100% sure why they do it because they're doing it over existing blacktop. It's not like we're, out where the hard road ends or something.
Yeah.
We don't have dirt roads here. I mean, there probably are somewhere, but these are like blacktop roads and they'll go have a truck go down and it just sprays out a real thin layer of oil and then followed by like some gravel. And then they usually have a tractor run over it to kind of press it down. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. But travel at your own risk when it's down.
Yeah, I know.
I was worried we were going to get hit or something.
I was too. I didn't know what happened. We did travel down the road.
We did just to see what would happen.
Greg wanted me to let him out. He was scared. Let me out of here. I'll meet you at the end. I said, we're going to do this. We grabbed each other's hands like Thelma and Louise. Ah!
And go down the 100-foot alley.
That's right. We made it. We made it. Oh.
And then a semi plowed into.
Wham. We told you. We told you.
Yeah. So fresh oil.
You knew what to expect.
Yes, we did. So, all right. Well, and another sign I've noticed as we've been out driving around is I'll see, you go past some little small ranch house. It's got quarter-acre lot, nothing fancy, small little house, and there's a sign in the front corner, like bedroom window, that says private property, and that's all it says. And it's like,
in case you thought that was a Kmart or something.
Yeah, I don't know how many times
I'm
I've been
dating
out.
myself with that.
Yeah,
Kmart.
Blue Light Special in aisle.
Or Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Circuit City. I'm just going to throw them all out.
Throw all the out of businesses out there.
I just picture them sitting in the living room all of a sudden you're just wandering in. Can I help you? And where do you guys keep your twine? I was looking for some twine.
Yeah, because I'm out for a walk. I don't know how many times I've wanted to
Ace
just.
Hardware. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, I just thought it's a public house. You didn't have a
Go ahead and take a
sign.
nap. I like that even better.
Yeah.
Just walk in next to the guy sitting in his chair, flip the recliner back.
Hey, can I have the remote?
Yeah. I hate this show. You just turn it. Hey, what are you doing? It's a public place, isn't
Yeah.
it? You can relax.
You don't have any signs.
Yeah. Doesn't say private property.
Yeah. And then the last one is I've noticed a lot of homes will have a sign that says no trespassing. Now those obviously are private because they don't want you trespassing. But 90% of the time, the homes that have a no trespassing sign on them, you wouldn't want to trespass.
No.
I mean, it's scary.
It's more of a prop for a haunted house at this point or a murder place. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we're really protective of all the garbage we've got
That's
piled
right.
around this house. So
Right. I'm a hoarder and I know where everything's at. It probably is the hoarders. They're
probably
scared
is.
of people taking their stuff. Put that no trespassing sign up quick.
yeah, I'm surprised they don't have that with the private property sign.
I want to merge these signs. That one and the fresh oil, like enter at your own risk. Oh, I like that sign. I want to put that on my
On
house.
a house that doesn't
Or just my house.
on your house.
Enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
People come in, I just throw stuff at. I told you.
Yeah.
You never know. It may be fine. You may come in and have a good time, or I may hit you in the head with a hammer.
Or you could confuse them and put enter at your own risk with a private property sign. Then
Yeah.
they won't know what to do.
No, they won't. Well, they might just walk on by.
Just stand there and look at it. I don't know whether to go in or not. It would be
Again,
risky,
decide.
but yet it's private.
It is private. Or I could put public and enter at your own risk. That
Oh,
would really
that would even
throw
be
them.
better. You never
Welcome.
see public property on a sign at someone's house. It's always
You
private.
know what? I love this. When we were on our romantic drive the other
Stop
day,
saying that.
we did go by a house, and there was a sign, and it was just a house, and on the window there was like a hanging sign, and it said "open." And I said, "Is that a business?" And you're like, "I don't know." So
I remember that. Yeah,
maybe there is precedent here for this.
maybe you do need
Because
it.
I don't know why that house had a sign that said "open." There was no signs that said any kind of a business.
No, and
Just
it wasn't
open.
like a real estate open house sign.
No,
it was just a little white sign that said open.
the kind you'd put in your window if you owned a business that you'd flip over, say close, or flip
It
back.
didn't have
and
an
say
arrow
open.
on it.
I don't
Did-
remember.
I said I
have
remember the
we'll have to try
open,
to
but-
find it and take a picture of it. Because
Yeah.
I was like, why does that house have an open sign?
You walk in, we're closed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
sorry, I
you-
forgot to flip the sign. Not your fault. But yeah, come back tomorrow.
Well, what's your business?
we don't have a business. We're just open.
We're just a house.
Yeah. We're open from
Come
8 to
in.
5.
Here's the remote.
So I don't know why they had a sign that said open, because there was no signs anywhere else. Like, what were they a business or something? And it was in a residential area.
It
So
was.
I don't know what it was.
And I didn't see anything that looked like products
No.
or anything like that around.
No, I did not either.
Because there was no it wasn't like a yard sale. There was
Nope.
nothing in the yard, no garage open or
Nope.
anything. It was just the house.
Just the sign in the house.
open. We're
Open.
open. Honey, did you put the closed sign up? We're going to bed now.
Oh crap! Let me go do that.
So, alrighty. Well, I think that's all I got on signs.
I don't have anything assigned. I did see this I went to a place, a college, and they had a bunch of paintings and stuff that they'd up that different students had painted, and art and different things.
It was like handprints made into a turkey.
Yeah, it was the second grade. That would have been probably more entertaining than some of them. But there was this one painting I got, and it's very abstract. You can tell that it's a human form, probably a woman. But it's very abstract. Maybe like it looks like it might be supposed to have been a nude painting, although you can't really tell. It's just kind of lines and
Yeah.
like I said, with real abstract. But I picture some guy, saying, "Hey, I need a nude model for my painting class." And the woman's like, "Oh, okay, fine, I'll do it." And he paints.
Does
this
it pay
picture.
anything?
No, it's just I'll give you $10. And he gets her to come over, like, "I'm going to paint this for you." Oh, great. Hey, we had the big unveiling of my picture. And when he takes it off, she's like, "You needed me to get naked for that? Nobody can see. They can't
Doesn't
do
it-
anything. What was that for?" "Oh, I did. I needed that."
I could have just put a couple of
sticks.
sticks up there.
Yeah, it could have been anything.
If you did that, put the sticks up there, and then it would be a naked woman.
Very detailed. Oh, wow, look at that. I just in my head, I picture him like, "I need a nude model." And he gets done. It's like, you didn't need a nude model for this. It's very, I mean, it's a person. I can't tell any more than
I
that.
picture like a stick figure.
Yeah. That would be my nude drawing.
Yeah.
Done. Is that a boy or a girl?
Oh, let me fix that.
I'll put a triangle for a dress. There. I'm not a very good artist,
No, I'm not either.
but
I like to draw, but I'm
I do too. But
Usually-
that's all I had.
usually it's doodles.
Doodles.
Doodles. Yeah, I doodle.
All right. Well, let's talk about college and school.
Oh, you're going to talk
in
about
general.
pop music.
No.
Let's talk about
Pop
pop music.
I got one thing before we get into the whole college loan debate, or that's not really a debate, discussion. This is from the Mirror from the UK. And I believe that this is actually at a private school in Australia. And it is.
Good day, mate.
Yeah, it says here, a school in Australia is reportedly supporting a phenomenally bright, and that's in quotes. So
Yes.
I don't know what that exactly means, but phenomenally bright
Yes, I would have probably said extremely bright. I don't.
young girl who is identifying as a cat.
Meow.
So the teenager is apparently allowed to act like a feline and be nonverbal at the private school in Melbourne, as long as it does not become a distraction to her fellow pupils. I would say it's already a distraction at that point. She acts like a cat and she's nonverbal. That's going to be a distraction. As long as, Well, it wasn't a distraction until the first day when she came in, and then she got up and knocked everybody's stuff off their desk.
Yeah. Scratch somebody's face.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I picture them coming up and, they're giving the lecture and the guy has a laser pointer. He just destroys the board.
Starts chasing it around the room.
Teacher, don't turn the laser pointer on. Oh, shoot.
Man, she's hocking up a hairball again.
Asking her. She's nonverbal, so.
Hopefully you'll start bathing.
Yeah. So.
Do they have to put a litter box under her desk?
I have litter box written down here. I don't know, but that would be a horrible thing to get on the chore wheel. Greg, you got the litter box. I don't want the litter box.
It's not my turn. And they probably have to build her one of those towers that she can climb around on, scratch her, claws on, to get her fingernails sharpened.
Yep, I think so. And, but yeah, I picture them, they're asking her questions. Okay, Fluffy. Because, that would be her name at this point.
Fluffy,
What is 3 plus 2?
Meow, 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 meow.
Very good, Fluffy. Now what's 3 times 2? Meow, 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 meow. Wrong. Oh, Fluffy, bad Fluffy. Got a squirt bottle.
Her pigtail stands up on the back of her head.
Oh, so anyway, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, this is a huge distraction. I would not pay for my kid to go to that class. Education is, they just said, I think it's at a 20-year low for this is in the United States. 4th grade reading and math comprehension. I just heard that today. I think is at a 20 or 30-year low.
Yeah, it's like super low.
It's like, let's concentrate on teaching kids how to read, how to write, how to do basic math. Let's get them back into that.
Yeah.
Get away from this. Hey, she thinks she's a cat, or he thinks he's a dog, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, where does it end?
I don't know.
So that was all I had on that one.
Okay. Well, when you put that story out there, it after I read it a little bit, I was reading another news story, and this made me think. I don't want to get super political here, but
just
on the subject of pronouns and how people identify. I was reading this news story, and at the top of the news story is a disclaimer that the person they're talking about, their pronoun is they. So they're plural or whatever, they. But then as you go through and you're reading the story, every time the article talked about the person, it said they, right?
Yeah.
But then when they would quote the person talking, the person would say I or me. Shouldn't they be we or us?
I would think so.
I mean, they're they.
You need to stay with it if you're going to do it. Commit.
Yeah. I mean, so like when she's saying, when they're saying, I felt I was doing this, or I was going to my college class. Shouldn't it be we were going to our college class?
That would make sense to me, but I don't know.
I don't know what the rules are anymore.
I don't either. I heard a podcast today, and they were talking about some woman who made up her own pronouns for herself of A and E, and they were reading this article. I couldn't understand because we take A's this and E's that. It's like I could not keep track of
the mental gymnastics that was
happening
to go on.
And that was just for today. I mean, she could change it. Maybe tomorrow she doesn't feel that. Well, it's like I'm not going to keep a notebook to keep track of what everybody's being called.
I identify as $sign,
oh.
And when you address me, you have to do it in cash.
I like that. I identify as the great one. There was one other thing with the cat thing I forgot. This was a little bit. It says in Brisbane, there were a group of 4 female students who were said that they started walking on all fours and cut holes in their uniforms to make room for their tails. They didn't have tails.
Okay, that looks a little weird then.
That's kind of what I thought. It's believed they either identify as foxes or cats. And one parent claimed that one of the girls screamed at another student for sitting on her tail.
You don't have a tail.
You got to stop this insanity, don't you? You stop it. You just got to put a stop to it.
And what did that look like? They either had little holes in their uniforms or they stuck a fake tail in there.
I have no idea. I don't know. It didn't really elaborate.
Would look weird.
It did
I
not.
think especially the little hole would not be a good
agree.
look to be crawling around.
I would agree with you. But anyway, that's all I had.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So let's talk. And again, we're not trying to be political with this, but I want to talk about it. It's,
yeah, no, my pronoun was a legit question.
Yeah.
I'm
no,
not,
I agree. I don't know. I don't understand any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's, anyway, I don't know. But President Biden they came out and they said they're going to eliminate a portion of student debt.
Yes.
To help the poor people,
Yes.
The people that can't afford it. So there's some different things about this I kind of want to get into. Like, first they said it's $10,000 per person
If you make,
or $20,000. Yeah. If you make up to $125,000 as a single person or up to $250,000 as a married person. In my book, that's not poor, right? If you're making that much, if you're making six figures, you should be able to pay your student loan.
yeah.
I mean, because when they say this is debt forgiveness, it's not. I mean, somebody's paying for it. Somewhere it's going. Somebody's going to have to pay
that's
for it.
the thing with debt. It's there and it's, yeah.
They also said that you could get up to $20,000 paid or forgiven if you got a Pell Grant. And my thought, Pell Grants aren't, they're free, right? You don't pay
I thought
those
that
back.
same thing. I thought that same thing. It's like,
Well, I kind of looked and it says, yeah, most of the time, I guess there are a few occasions where it can, but most of the time a grant isn't paid back.
right.
So why do you get more money if you get free money? Hey, you got free money?
Yeah, you
Then
got
know
free
what?
money up front.
We're going to let you
We're
not
going to
pay
give you a
more.
little extra.
It's like, what?
Yeah, I thought that same thing when I was reading it. It's like, well, hold it. So people who got money up front before all this are getting more money because they got the free money.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I am not for this. Just in whole.
No,
I mean, if you take out a loan for whatever, you're on the hook for the loan. Period.
Yep.
I'm sorry if you took out a bad, and I was kind of this way when they did the bailouts for these businesses too big to fail and stuff like that.
Or the stimulus checks.
The stimulus checks. People, when they bought houses, they were upside down. It's like, listen, I have made bad decisions in my life. I have bought furniture 90 days, same as cash. And I ended up paying 6 times more than what the furniture would cost originally.
Yep.
Cause I didn't get it all paid off and I made a really bad decision.
That's how you learn.
But nobody came and bailed me out. But, I think really because they're like, well, who's at fault? Because I hear people saying, well, you can't blame these young kids. They don't know what they're doing. It's like, well, okay, they're 18. So they kind of know what they're doing at that age, but still, I think that the blame is not all on one person or another. I think a lot of it, you look at the colleges. How much are they charging?
Oh, it's insane what they charge.
And a lot of these colleges have huge endowments that they could use to help these students if they wanted to. And then the lenders, they just are lending money to these people. They don't care. They're like, yeah, you're 18. Here, you're going to a college for $50,000 a year. Yep. We'll lend you $170,000 to go to school.
Yep.
And then you'll have to come up with the rest. They have no guarantee that they're going to be able to get that money back.
Yeah.
And again, the students, when they go in, they're taking these loans out a lot of times on worthless degrees that they're never going to get a job in, or they're not going to get a job making the kind of money that they're going to be able to pay this back. It's a bad investment from the start.
Yep.
Just from the start.
Yeah. And then my take on it is these are tough ones because I don't want to be hypocritical, but like the stimulus checks, for instance, we got those during COVID. I did not want the government to do them.
I didn't either.
But I still took them.
Well, they
I mean,
sent it to
if they're going to give you the money, I mean, if everybody is getting the money, okay, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to send it back. Obviously, I mean, I do pay my taxes and okay, fine. I don't want them to do it, but I'll take it. Same with these college loan forgiveness. I actually, to be open and honest, stand to benefit from it a little bit because I'm still paying some of my kids' college. So I don't know if I will or not. If they do it, I'm going to take it, but I do not want them to. We did what you're talking about. We got the student loans and with every expectation to pay them back. And I have been paying on them, but, if they send it, I'm not going to deny it, but my My thought is I don't want them to do it.
Yeah, I am against it.
And
too,
I would continue to pay. I would pay them off. I mean, on my own. So.
But I'll even go this far. Let's say, okay, I'll make some concessions. Let's say, fine, they're in this situation. Let's try to help people out. I don't think we just start giving out money. I think we should limit it to certain degrees, like doctor, engineer, something that you're going to
Before you go into that, one other thought too is, as I thought about it, I thought, I'm being a little hypocritical if I take it. But then I got thinking, what the government has done to my 401k this year, they actually owe me a little money.
They owe me some too, yeah.
So anyways, go ahead with what you were going to say there.
Well, I was just saying that, like, certain degrees, then I think they should, then we can give them some money for certain degrees, but I don't think we just give it to every single degree that's out there.
No.
And another thing, they'll never do this, but if they want to do it, I think they should be made to take a test. Did you learn anything? Did you waste your college? Let's just do, I saw a guy had went out to Southern California and he was just going around and asking UCLA students. Now, I know in these man on the streets, they pick the dumbest people.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that don't know the answers.
I'm surprised I've never been picked for one.
I'm surprised I haven't either. But they were asking them questions like, how many stars are on the flag? Or, what country is the Queen of England from? Like, how do you, come on. But they were asking a bunch of these kids, they had no clue. So I think that you should be forced to take it, and you need to pass it with 100%. Or you get a non-college educated person, and you have to beat their score if you want, if you want the money. Let's see who really has the better intelligence. But, I also think that colleges, when these kids go in and they're like, I'm going to get a degree in, music history. That's what okay, fine. But I think they need to do like what they started making the credit cards do. I think they need to say, that's fine. It's going to cost you this much money. Here's how much money on average. Just take the average. This is what you can expect to make as with a degree in music history or basket weaving or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And with that salary, with the amount of money you're going to have to take to get this degree, it will take you this many years to pay it off, and it will end up costing you this much total. Just the same as they do with your credit card. When you get a credit card, if you're running a balance, they say, well, if you pay the minimum payment, it will take you, 5 years to pay this off, and you owe $3,000, but by the end of that 5 years, you will have paid back $9,500
right.
or something. I think they should have colleges start doing that kind of stuff. Make the college responsible for a lot of this, because the colleges are preying on these kids. They're pushing it. You need a degree. You need a degree. Oh, you got to get a degree. Yeah. And then they get these degrees and they're worthless. They don't help them at all. They don't help them get a job. And if they get a job, like I said, they make you get a 4-year degree for a job that you're going to make $25,000 a year, up to maybe at the max $70,000 a year, where you could go right out of college or right out of high school, and you could go and get into some of the different service industries, or like welding or pipe fitting or electrician or plumbers, and those guys make good money. You can do that, get no debt or very little debt, and then get a job making, 80, 90, sometimes 6 figures with some of these welders.
Yeah.
I just don't think that people think that that's an option. And it's becoming more and more of an option. These people are becoming more in demand because they're harder and harder to find. And
they just gotten in the mindset of, you're out of high school, the next step, you got to go to college. That's gotten to be the mindset.
Yeah.
When I graduated high school, probably maybe half went to college. I don't know, maybe a little more than that, but
that's probably what it was when I went. Probably a little more than half, but maybe like 60, 65%.
Yeah.
I went for a little bit.
I took a couple junior college classes.
Little junior college.
That's been it.
Yeah.
But I pretty much self-taught, and I'm a programmer now, and that's, that's where my brain worked the best, and that's, so, I just did it over the years by learning, on jobs and things like that, self-teaching and stuff like that.
I found a few of these degrees, and we've talked about some of these in the past, but here are some of these are actual degrees, and these are what I'm talking about. If you get a degree in this, you should know up front. And if you want a degree in whatever, fine. That's up to you, but you shouldn't be counting on the public to bail you out or to pay off your student debt at this point.
Right.
You got to take some personal responsibility for it. But one was puppet arts.
I saw that.
Puppet arts. The University of Connecticut has a 4-year degree in puppet arts. Like, look, if you're getting a degree in puppet arts, you got to imagine most of the time. Now, there are
Jim Henson might argue with you.
I say there are some people that have made a fortune in it, and good on. But I would say, did Jim Henson go to school, or did he just learn how to do a puppet?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you need a 4-year. There's nothing wrong. If you want to be a puppeteer, be a puppeteer. I don't think you need a 4-year degree to do that. Another one, bicycle design. Although with the gas problems and the electricity and all that, these may become they may be right up there with the, doctors and engineers.
Yeah, especially if you learn to do e-bikes.
we may need those bicycle designers. Bakery science. Again, I have no problem if you want to become a baker and you want to go get a degree. I don't think that you need a degree. You could just learn
to be a baker.
You could go and try to get a internship with someplace or something. But these are 4-year degrees, and it says when you're done, you can get a starting salary of around $50,000. Well, that's going to take you a long time,
a lot more than that,
to get you to pay off a Kansas State University 4-year degree.
Yeah.
That's a baker. I just had a couple more. Costume technology. Costume technology.
Well, during Halloween, you might, be busy.
That's fine. That's fine. Again, I feel like you could probably just start learning how to sew and try to get into places. Probably some internships again to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It says in the final year study, students can opt to do an internship. Students also do mock interviews with local costume shops. Could you just go find a local costume shop and say, hey, I'd like to start working here?
Yeah.
And
Teach
just
me.
Learn.
Yeah.
Learn on the go. And the last one I came across was comic art. I think if you're some people are going to know how to draw and they're going to do it well. Now you can go and learn techniques and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need a 4-year degree. I think you can just teach yourself and learn.
Yeah.
And do this. Now, my son got a degree in interactive media, with animation and a minor in art. And he said I should have just drawn and learned a lot of this on my own because he's having to do it anyway.
Yep.
And now he did. He went to junior college and paid that off. Well, we paid that off. And then he ended up going to Bradley and on a little bit of a discount. And then he took out a few student loans. So he doesn't have a huge one, but it's big enough. I mean, it's a new car payment.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that was the last one. The things that they get the degrees in, or they push kids to, you got to get a degree, you got to get a degree. When most students don't know what they want, I think it would benefit students to take a year off from high school to college, get a job, go work, go do something, and then see what you want to do after that year. If nothing else, it might motivate you to be, hey, I better do good when I go back into school. I don't want to do this. I don't want to dig a ditch forever.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, I can see sometimes when you step away from something, it is hard to get back into it. So you're kind of in that mode of school for high school, and you just kind of expect the next fall, I'm just going to continue schooling. It's probably easier to stay in that mindset. But yeah, it would be nice if that, to take that little break and figure out, because at 18, it's tough to figure out what you want to do the rest of your life, supposedly. But yeah, and I was looking, you had a few of the more like wild degrees, but even I found something like you hear somebody say they're going to take computer science. I mean, that sounds like, that's a good degree. That would be, that could be helpful in the world and things like that. But, this website I was looking at said, even though you graduate with a degree in computer science, it's not specific enough. that just is giving you an overview of computers and whatnot. That's not, you need to be more specific. Like, I'm going to be a data scientist, or I'm going to be a programmer, or I'm going to be a web designer. I'm going to be specific. I'm not just computer science. That's too general.
And a lot of times when companies hire you, then they end up teaching you what they want you to know anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were talking about your son. My daughter, well, Mike's wife, Courtney, she majored in music, but it was specific. It was music therapy. And she is a music therapist now. That's what she knew going in. That's what she wanted to be when she got out of college. So, and for that, you kind of do need to go to college. She could self-teach herself on music or take lessons or whatever. But then you got to include the therapy part of it, where you analyze patients and you got to develop a plan and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I'm not saying people shouldn't go to college. If they want to go to college, I'm saying you need to be a little more smart about it. And you can go and take whatever, if you want to go and get a 4-year degree in puppet arts, that's fine. But then you're on the hook you need to know you're responsible for this.
Yeah.
How are you going to make a living? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay back your loan? These are things that I think they need to teach kids in high school. Start thinking this way. Hey, how do I keep my budget going? How do I do all this stuff on a puppet arts degree?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was it. I mean, I was just talking about, a number of these degrees, film, video, and photographic arts. It's too general. It's not specific enough. So we're just, as old guys, we're just trying to tell people, try to narrow down your scope, focus,
I know somebody who their son got a film degree, like art film.
Kodachrome, they develop it?
No. Spent $100,000 on this degree. It was at a private fancy college for film. Went out to LA and did some stuff. You know what he's doing now? He's driving a semi-truck.
Is he using his phone to film while he's driving the truck?
I don't know, but you couldn't pay the bills.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he had a huge loan there and went and got a CDL and has been driving a truck for probably 7 years.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that there's a great answer. Other than these colleges are out of hand, though, with what they charge.
They are.
That does need to be looked at. I mean,
and I think they're the most predatory, even more than the lenders, because they're pushing to get the kids in, work with the high schools, tell them they got to have a college degree, got to get a college degree.
I mean, one semester they may have $1,000 in books. I mean, it's like that's
probably
insane.
More than that. I think Garrett's was more than that.
That's an insane amount for books. Yeah. I mean.
That, and they'll say lab fees. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Lab fees? I'm
in math. What labs am I doing?
No, there's lab fees. Like, oh, jeez, whatever.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's weird.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move. I don't
know how funny that was. But
it wasn't funny. It's sad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just on the dock. I kind of wanted to talk about it. So,
yeah.
Have you heard the term quiet quitting? That's been kind of the
I have now.
Yeah, the buzzword out there. And basically what quiet quitting, I'll kind of give you the Reader's Digest version, and that's an old
I've seen some people loud quit before.
Yeah, I have too. Maybe we'll tell I got a couple good quit stories. Maybe we can talk about
do
we're
you?
done with this here. So
I'm trying to think if I've got any good quit stories.
Not for me. I didn't, but I've heard a couple. So
I got the one girl at Hardee's.
Yeah. But basically what quiet quitting is when it says so like this lady here, she's a Georgia-based teaching advocate. It says, I don't know what that is, had been working as a teacher for nearly half a decade before she decided to quiet quit her job.
Half a decade's only 5 years.
Yeah.
That's not long.
No. The decision didn't mean she'd leave her position, but rather limit her work to her contract hours, nothing more. No matter how much I hustle as a teacher, there isn't growth. There isn't a growth system or recognition incentive. If I didn't quiet quit my teaching job, I would burn out. So basically, it's people maybe there's no room they don't see them getting promoted or moving in the company, or they're not getting recognition. So they don't quit, but they just do the absolute bare minimum to get by. I'm just going to come in, get my check. I'm not going to do anything extra at all. So they're still working, but they're just doing the bare minimum. And my thought on this is these people, they're upset because, hey, I'm not getting recognition. I'm not getting a pay raise. So I'm just going to, but it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy as well. Because if you're not out there doing above and beyond, a lot of times, if there are promotions, then they're like, well, why would I give Greg a promotion? He does the bare minimum.
Right.
Or
hey,
as an example.
Let's say Mike. He's not here.
Okay.
Mike, you're doing the bare minimum.
But I got to thinking that you're just creating a self-fulfilling prophecy for yourself. And besides, any place that I've ever worked, I try to work with the mindset that I own this. I'm going to work just as hard for this as if I own the business. I'm going to try it. Not that I don't goof off or have fun or whatever during some parts of work, but it is called work. It's work. It's not fun. It's a pain in the butt. I wish I didn't have to, but we do. So you go, and a lot of it, you just try to make the best of it. Try to do the best job you can. Try to work the hardest. And just, if they're not seeing your worth, then maybe you need to really quit. Start looking for another job. And that's always been my philosophy. If I'm not happy or things aren't going on there, I'll just quit. I'll find something else to do. And I've done it before. I've walked away from jobs. I've took big pay cuts. I had a job I absolutely hated. And I took a $4.50 an hour pay cut. And that hurt. But I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
I took a pay cut to move out of retail into programming.
I just couldn't. I'm like, I want nothing to do with this job I'm in anymore. Every day was miserable. I hated it. I dreaded every night. Sunday nights were the worst. You're just like, oh, God.
Did you quiet quit?
No, I just walked in and told them I'm giving 2 weeks notice. They said, well, how much more are you going to get? We'll match it. I said, I'm taking less money. He said, good luck to you. It's over. I was like,
yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
I want
nothing well, then we'll
more.
give you less money. You want to stay for that?
So, and the other thing my thought on this is that depending on your job, but this may be hurting your coworkers too, and it's making you a kind of a crappy coworker.
Yeah, it can do that.
Because if you're doing your bare minimum, there may be some slack. I may have to take up the slack because, you're not doing your job, or I don't do my job. Now Greg's got to do twice the work.
Yeah. So
I'm still going through, but I'm like, my job's a lot easier. And Greg's like, oh, my job's
I'm swamped.
killing me. What is going on? So that's just being a crappy coworker.
Yeah.
Too. And maybe you hate your coworkers, which, fine.
In that case, I guess. Quiet quit.
But I don't know. I didn't have it. And also, this isn't anything new. I think a lot of times they'll take something and they'll give it a new term, like, oh, look at this new thing that's happening, or this new thing that's going on. And this kind of stuff has been going around for years.
Yeah.
Guys doing the bare minimum, or like, all right, well, here, by our contract, it says we have to make 3 widgets a day. Well, I ain't making 4 or 5, even though I could make 7.
Yeah.
I'm doing 3 or whatever it is.
Yep. They slap a new term on it.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, look at this new thing we've just discovered.
Quiet quitting. Somebody in a think tank had to come up with this. And so
it's kind of like a lot of things. So or the old saying, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just, they just kind of repurpose a lot of things, slap a new name on it and just go with that. So. But anyway, that was the end of. Some people would say we quiet quit this podcast. I don't know.
A long time ago.
Yes.
Oh man.
No, I don't have any more than that. And the only thing I worked at Golden Corral way back, one of my very first jobs outside of a farming job.
Right.
And one guy I don't even know what happened. I wasn't there when he got mad or something, and he took his apron off and threw it, and he's like, I quit. And the manager went out, which was bad, howling across the dining room, as he's walking out. He's like, if you walk out this door, you'll never work at another Golden Corral again. And he just said, he's like, that's not even a threat. He just walked out the door.
That's a bad threat.
Like, yeah, good.
Well, good.
I don't ever
that
plan
was
on
kind of
working
my
at
goal.
a Golden Corral again.
Yeah, I think my favorite one. I mean, I may have told it on this before. I don't remember, but I'll share it again real quick.
We got new listeners all the time, so go ahead.
I worked at Hardee's back in the 70s. Groovy, baby. And we had a girl. I don't remember if she quit or got fired, but she left. And she was angry at the manager of the store. So this is back in the day when at Hardee's we had the grill, and when you cooked burgers, you threw the patty on the grill and watch for it to start, bubbling on the side, flip it over, all that. And then you would make up a few burgers, put them in the bin for the customers, and they would have a time limit on how long they could be in the bin. I think at McDonald's it was 3 hours or something, but at Hardee's it was
I thought it was minutes. 3 days at McDonald's.
But so anyways, this gal was angry. She left. Okay. So a few days later, we're all working, and one thing that would happen is if a bus pulled up, you knew you're busy. So you would take the frozen patties and you would line the grill with them, both sides. You'd have, 50, 60 burgers cooking on there. And so this bus pulled up and we did that. We covered the grill. We're grilling away. All these people start walking in. Well, the very first one to walk in was the girl who had either been let go or quit. And she walked past the front register, right out the other side door where the bus had gone around and was waiting. The whole line of people came in behind her, went through the restaurant, right out the other door onto the bus, because she knew if the bus showed up, we would make all these burgers. Well, now it's too late, and they left, and we've got, and it's like 9:00 at night. We're getting ready to close, and we've got all these burgers we just wasted.
Wow.
So that was quite a payback.
How did she get a bus?
I don't know. That's pretty, I don't know. That's pretty,
that is a very elaborate
and she had a lot of people. I mean,
with a lot of work into that. Maybe if she'd have worked that hard at Hardee's, she wouldn't have got fired.
Maybe.
I mean, look, if you would have just applied yourself as much to your job as you did to Revenge.
I find that the case a lot. I mean, it's like some of the criminals you see. It's like, if you put in as much work into being an entrepreneur or a worker as you did to do this crime, you'd be rich. I mean,
if I saw a girl, if I worked with a girl and she did that, I'm going to make a mental note like, I do not want to date that girl because she,
yes,
that's, you end up with a
dead
rabbit in a pot or something.
That's vindictive. So yeah.
Whole Fatal Attraction thing going there. You do not want to cross her.
Little craziness going on.
Do not want to cross her.
It's like, this is Hardee's.
Yeah, it's just
Hardee's. We're making $1.77 an hour. This is like,
I don't know. I guess I don't get that worked up over most things. I just kind of just roll. Like, I'm not going to, because I found most of the time, even with Revenge or getting angry, most of the time the person you're mad at, they don't even know or care. You're just hurting yourself. You're inflicting more pain on yourself by thinking about it and dwelling on it and all this stuff again.
Yeah.
So let it go, people. Just relax. Take in a breath. Hold it.
And breathe.
And breathe out.
Yep.
Light a nice candle. Go for a ride.
That's right. Get your autumn leaves and
just go for a nice romantic ride and just relax.
Yes. Maybe grab a Hardee's burger on your way through the drive-thru.
Load up 2 or 3 of the It's Funny That Makes It Okay podcasts. Get them going and just drive around. Relax.
Yeah. Right. Yes, we'll put you to sleep.
We will put you to sleep with the candle.
So don't listen while you're driving.
No. Very, very dangerous. All right. You got anything else?
Nope. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Hit the share button. Give us a 5-star review or rating and give us a review. And we hope you have a great week. Relax. Laugh a little bit. Life is too short to get mad about things. Take in a deep breath. Light a candle. We hope you have a great week, and we hope you're tuning in 7 days for the next exciting episode. Until then, see ya.
Peace.
Well, that wraps up another episode. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.